A guitar and an amp, that's all you need, shouted Sean to Paul above the blaring of the music as the two jammed. Paul playing lead parts over Sean's power chords, the sound blasting out of two small practice amps. Felt so damn good just to play guitar. Hi, I'm Neil A. Yeager, and today I'm reading from my novel, Non-Hollywood. If you look in this video's description text, you'll see links to other of my works, such as The Next Seattle, which is a novella about some young people trying to get a music scene going in a Midwestern college town. This is chapter 19 of Non-Hollywood, F sharp minor. Of course, he did have a microphone pointed at his amp and feeding into his 4-track recorder. If any magic should happen during this jam, it would be recorded and could be used later. But mainly, today, Sean and Paul were just feeling the joy of two musicians playing. And yes, there was a reason that people called it playing. They don't call it working an instrument, or operating an instrument, or controlling the function of an instrument. It was playing, and it was fun. Sean leapt into the air and windmilled his right arm and hit a big distorted F sharp minor chord. Then he let it sustain echo through the tiny apartment. As the sound of the power chord drifted away, Sean could hear the sound of pounding on his door. "Aw, hell," he said as he looked up at the clock on the wall. "It's 3 in the afternoon." He set the guitar back down on its stand and went to answer the door. He swung the door open and, as he had expected, there stood the apartment manager. She was a woman in her late 20s, and though she seemed generally cool, she was trying to make it as an actress, and the apartment manager gig was her day job. They'd had more than one discussion about neighbors and noise. She didn't look too happy as she said, "You're getting complaints again." Sean replied, "Dude, it's 3 in the afternoon." "Doesn't matter." "Doesn't matter? So 3 in the afternoon is the same as 3 in the morning? There's like no time when I can be louder than like a whisper." She replied, "This is a hell of a lot louder than a whisper. And don't make me the bad guy." "You are the bad guy." "I'm the building manager is what I am. Now, I like you, Sean, but I've got bosses, and guess what? One of the tenants who is home at 3 in the afternoon and loves to complain to me also isn't afraid to get hold of my boss and get me in trouble. I like you, but I don't like you enough to get fired." "Well, you want to talk about noise," said Sean as he pushed past her and stood on the landing. As he leaned over the railing, he saw Icon, the thin girl who helped him digitize his tapes, but he pointed past her to apartment 108 and asked, "What about that damn dog in 108? The damn dog in 108 is the other pain in my ass. And guess what? I don't know what. I told the owner of that dog the same thing that I'm telling you. If I keep getting complaints, then things are going to get serious. As in kick you out serious," said the apartment manager. "All right," Sean said. "All right. Now, I like you." "Yeah, you said that. But this is it, Sean. Don't make me come here again." "I didn't make you come here this time." "I mean it." "Okay." The apartment manager turned and left. Sean came back into the apartment, closed the door, walked across the room, and flipped the power on both amps to off. He looked around the room. 4 musicians living in a studio apartment. There was absolutely no way that they would never get another noise complaint. Maybe it was time to start looking for a new place.